Hey guys, this is Nick James with Sawtooth Overland. Let's jump right in and take a look at our all-new project truck. This is it, the 1996 FZJ80 Toyota Land Cruiser. Just picked this one up from a buddy of mine out in Denver, Colorado. It spent its whole life out there, and I just drove it back. And it's pretty stock right now, 222,000 miles on the inline 6 engine. However, soon it will not be stock whatsoever. But let's take a look at it as it sits right now. This is a fairly rare build, as you can see. That's because no sunroof. And one of my favorite parts, all cloth. It's in pretty good shape. Couple owners. My buddy put in a new headliner. I just cleaned it up a little bit and threw in some mats down here, WeatherTechs. It's just got a tape deck for now. He put in one of the switches so we can switch the center locking diff on the fly. Beyond that, fairly stock. It's got highway tires. That'll change soon. Yeah, as you can see, it's in pretty great shape. Third row seat, I've just got that one down because I was just vacuuming the thing out. 7-seater, stock bumper, front and rear. Well, here's why I like this truck. And I mean, obviously, the FZJ80s are great, and we'll get to that in a minute, but this one's not perfect, right? So if you're gonna take it off-road and do all sorts of wild stuff, I don't wanna start with a pristine, perfect car. This one's been scratched and dinged here and there throughout its 222,000 miles on planet Earth. I like that about it. Antenna's broken, classic. You know, there's some weird circle scratches here on the hood, little paint fade up there. Otherwise in pretty good shape. If you follow our channel at all, you know that we have a whole slew of Japanese trucks in our garages. Devin has a GX 460. He's also got a 2013 Taco. I have my 100 series Land Cruiser, and Greg has his FJ Cruiser. So why did we choose an FZJ80? Well, we wanted to do something that was first and foremost accessible. All our other trucks are a bit more expensive than 80 series. Yes, they are going up in value, but they are pretty accessible, especially in certain parts of the country. Pacific Northwest, they're a little harder to find, but as you get down south, even in the Bay Area, they're not that expensive. So if you do some internet sleuthing, you can find some pretty good ones. What's more, they also have really awesome part support, be it Australia, Africa, United States, Asia. You can pick up all sorts of aftermarket parts for these things and make them pretty badass pretty quickly. Let's talk about some other factors on the FZJ80 that we absolutely love though. Okay, the looks are just downright awesome. This thing just ages better and better every year. I loved them when they were new in the 90s when I was a kid. I love them even more now. But why they're really great, and we're gonna look right under here. Hopefully there's light. Aha, there we go. Solid axle in the front, and of course, solid axle in the rear. That means with the FJ80's coil springs at all 4 corners, you can get these things up really quick in the air for not that much money. We're not gonna go a huge lift on this one right away. We're gonna do about a 3-inch lift, but once we get it up in the air, we'll get some bigger tires on there, and we'll do the rest. A couple things though, before we get into crazy lifts and all that sort of stuff, is we gotta deal with a little bit of rust. Yeah, you don't see that a lot up here in the Pacific Northwest, but this was a Colorado truck. Looks like it had a wonky repair on that windshield at some point. So actually, the first thing, we're not going to do that work. We're going to send that out to a body shop, get that taken care of. Looks like it might have been tried to repair once before. We're going to get it done right this time though, and paint that roof while we're at it. But then once it's back from that, we're going to be getting our hands all over this bad boy. If the solid axles and ladder frame weren't enough to make you fall in love with this thing, the inline 6 4.5 liter might just do it. This thing is a little bit slow, but you could set your watch to this engine. It is tried and true. They're not great on fuel economy, not great on power, but they will go, go, and go. And there's a lot of parts available for them. That's why we really love it. Another reason we love the FZJ80 is its interior. It's just as much as you need, not much more than you don't, right? So, you know, pretty flat dash, lots of room for bolting up accessories. You can replace the head unit there, as we're going to, fairly easily. Speakers are accessible. The parts just hold up. As you can see, this thing has 222,000 miles on it, not a crack in the dash. I've never seen one, really, frankly, in the FZJ80. Pretty good console there. Seats are comfortable. They're big. Lots of headroom. Lots of interior volume. And again, if you really need it, you got 7 seats. I'm yanking those, of course, though. Yeah, these are a pretty good starting point for any family-friendly overlanding truck. All right, so once it's back from the body shop, what are we going to do to it? Let's go through. That front bumper has got to go. We got to get some better protection up there, a little bit higher up into the grill and the lights, and then we got to get a winch on the front. I don't go anywhere without a worn winch, but we'll get more to that later. Of course, highway tires, they've got to go too. We're going to get some mud terrains on there. Sliders. Man, I have damaged enough trucks without sliders that I never, ever go anywhere without them. Just like a winch. Always, always, always. We'll bolten those up soon, and we'll reveal what brands and why we chose them as we go along. Back here, also similar story. Get our angles a little better, get a little bit more protection off-road, lift it up a little bit. We're gonna get a new rear bumper, relocate that spare that's tucked underneath, get that up higher behind the tailgate. And of course, we're gonna have a roof rack. Gonna go the full length, and since we're not worried about blocking any sunroof because it doesn't have one, we can slam it full width, and then we're gonna cover that with a rooftop tent. We'll also have some traction devices, some more lighting, things of that nature. But, you know, we're not going to put a ton of money into this thing. Pick this up for a fairly reasonable price, and we're probably going to put another $8,000 in parts into it. But then it's going to be rocking and rolling. Okay, guys, that wraps our introductory look at the Sawtooth Overland FZJ80 build. This thing is not going to be stock for very long, so please follow along. We want to show with this build that not only these trucks are accessible and they have tons of parts available, but you can bolt them up pretty quickly and get overlanding pretty fast if you've got the money in the bank. So follow along. Please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. For Sawtooth Overland, I'm Nick Janes. Thanks for watching.